Hello, and welcome to Dear SQL DBA, a podcast for SQL Server database administrators and developers. I'm Kendra Little from littlekendra.com, and also I am an advocate at Redgate Software. And what I'm talking about this week is directly related to me being an advocate at Redgate Software. I want to tell you a little bit about Down Tools Week at Redgate. What it is, what I'm doing this year with it, and then some thoughts I think on what to take away from this. Some variations of this that might be really useful for you to suggest and start up with your teams. So what is Down Tools Week? Down Tools Week is something that started in the product group at Redgate. And the idea is that the down tools bit means there's a period of time where people aren't working on their existing projects. Like they put down their normal work. And also they do it for a week, right? So right there in the name is a lot about it. And the idea is that during this time period, the teams work on innovative ideas that people have. Now, it's not a complete free-for-all. There is some organization to Down Tools Week, and I'm sure that it's evolved over time. I've been at Redgate for nearly 2 years now, about to hit my 2-year anniversary. And I'll tell you a little bit. This is my first Down Tools Week I've participated in, so I'll tell you what happens now. This time, a theme has been set for this Down Tools Week. And the way it worked was different people created pitches for ideas they had about projects that fit this theme. Those briefs or ideas were all put together in a place where people could vote for them. And you could only vote for a certain number of projects, right? I think there was maybe 12 or 13 or 14 different project ideas in the board. I feel like maybe you got 6 or 7 votes if I recall, but you couldn't vote for every single project. You had to pick your favorites. And you didn't have to use all your votes either. If you felt pretty strongly, you could save your votes. And then based on the votes, certain number of, viable projects were selected to be done during Down Tools Week, and then these projects became open to getting members. There is a max number of members who can be on a single project. Because if you get, 50 people on a single team on a project for Down Tools Week, there is a level at which this becomes unmanageable. So I think this is very wise. I think the max number of members per team is somewhere around 7 or 8, to keep the team pretty manageable. You can get a lot done with 7 people in a week, but it's not too many people to be able to talk in a meeting together. The team that I'm on is a team that is thinking about vision and future. So given the theme that we've got, our team is looking at 3 years down the road. What are some things that we could do that are, and to think about this in a really customer-centric way. Thinking about customer-centric design, given the direction that we're going in, what are things that could really appeal to and delight different users in customer companies? And what we're doing to do this is we've gone through a variety of exercises together. We've done brainstorming. We're using a tool called Mural to support that brainstorming and to organize ideas and build things out. We're doing stakeholder interviews with people around the customer, asking them about their experiences with customers, describing our ideas to them, getting feedback on those, seeing how they resonate. Because one of the really interesting things about this project of trying to create, a vision, a shared vision for people to move towards in 3 years is that just very naturally, different people around your organization are going to have quite different takes on something. So finding ways in which you can identify what excites people, what concerns people, and the different interests that people have and the different knowledge people have of customers, because all of the people we talk to who are stakeholders at Redgate interact with customers, but they interact with customers in different ways which give them different perspectives. Some do polling, some do more customer calls, some work with customers in proof of concepts heavily, some meet them at conferences, some, there's a whole variety of experience, as well as with research on industry capabilities of big picture interests where companies are moving in initiatives. There's many perspectives to bring in. So the interviewing part of this has been really quite interesting in helping shape and develop our ideas. So it's actually been, I would say it's been a lot of work. I mean, it's been a really exciting week, and I'm very grateful to get a chance to take part in this. I would say this isn't a week off. Right? So if you're, this is not the type of thing to suggest if you're overwhelmed and maybe close to burnt out. Now, if you are in a place where you're we could really use some innovation, we could really use some creativity, or even just we have a big problem we want to tackle. I think there are exercises like this that are very accessible. And I think, I got so excited, I flopping around, thumping the phone on my desktop. I think that this can be reshaped in a couple different ways too. So for example, doing this exercise has also gotten me excited about potentially forming some working groups that meet on a regular basis, not all week necessarily, especially because some of the people I might want to work with are in different time zones, and we can't spend a very long, block of time together each day without somebody having to work really, really early or really, really late. But I do think there's a model based on this group working model of setting out a project with goals, setting aside a certain amount of time each day to work together and brainstorm and assign out different tasks to people, meeting back and checking in on it, and having the project be something that is, creatively decided on by the team, an exploratory project, a creative project is really, really valuable, because I have found that this has, it's helped me get to know people better, to people on my team, as well as people that we've interviewed. And it's also just really opened up my mind about different ways of thinking. Our mission explicitly is to think about the future in chunks of time, not just for 5 minutes. And having done that for a few days now, I see that there could be some benefits to regularly scheduling time periods in my life where I work with a group on similar initiatives. This has also just made me excited about things like, I want to create more content in certain areas. Maybe there's a content creation group that I could set up with certain like-minded people at work where we meet an hour a day, 3 days a week for 3 weeks, right? And our goal is to brainstorm topic ideas and perhaps find ways to collaborate on creating that content together. I think that this could be thinking back to when I was a DBA, this could have been a really interesting way to develop relationships across silos with developers. If I could have gotten some buy-in from team members there for working together on thinking about how to tackle difficult things for the future. So anyway, that's a little bit about what's going on in my world this week. I think today's Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. A lot has been going on lately. We moved house last week. So, I'm kind of in that position where I'm I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. But yeah, I've got 2 more days of Down Tools week. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'll give you an update later on how it went in our final presentation, how it goes too. Thanks for joining me for Dear SQL DBA. I'm Kendra Little from littlekendra.com. I'll talk to you again in another podcast episode soon. Bye, folks.